whistled against Rhode, his first, and the first team foul either way. The Bobcats play the ball in. Up top it comes to Tom DeMaco. He pops from three-point range, and it's no good off the back iron. Willis fights for the rebound and knocks it out of bounds to Idaho State. Willis and Troy Miles battled for it, but it goes out of bounds to ISU. Again, the Bengals will work left to right in the first half. They have the ball at the end line in backcourt against a full-court press by Montana State. Holston plays the ball in on the right in backcourt to Miles. Up at it comes to Yetinecki, and cross-court pass to Jim Rhode, and Rhode back to Miles. Miles now, with that 10-second clock running down, crosses the timeline, gets it up to Holston along the right sideline. Holston in the right corner to Taurus Yetinecki. Yetinecki at the free throw line. Just off the free throw line, Holston with the shot. A 15-footer won't go off the rim. Shanford with the weak side rebound, and back comes Shan. A one-handed pass taken by Willis on the right. A 17-footer up, down. Ray Willis for 3 points, just outside the three-point line. And the Bobcats lead 3-2 against that full-court pressure. ISU in backcourt. Miles pass up ahead through the midcourt circle. Don Holston with the right, now the left-hand dribble. Holston leaves it back to Miles near the midcourt stripe. And the Bobcats break out in a man-to-man defense half-court with 18:30 to play in the first half. It's 3-2. A trap along the far sideline. Holston gets the ball over on the right now. The shot's up by Troy Miles. Shots no good from 15 off the back rim. Ray Willis with the rebound, and back he comes, and he'll slow things up on the left. Into the left corner goes to Crowford. Almost traveled, but did maintain the back pivot foot. Up to his younger brother, Shan. Now on the right it goes to DeMaco. Shots up, and he has missed 2 in a row. Tommy DeMaco, who made 15 of 19 the other night, misses a 14-footer angle right, and Rhode rebounds for Idaho State. And Troy Miles will come back, and Idaho State will try to play a slow-down game tonight with 18 minutes left in the first half. It's Montana State 5.32. For the Bengals on the right, Rodney Harris on the right wing. He's trapped by the Furch brothers. Up top it comes to Holston. Holston overhead pass to Miles on the left in three-point range, and the shot clock now comes inside 30. Miles walks the ball between the circles, a nifty between the legs dribble, and passes out to Rhode on the right. He's trapped. Rhode to Harris on the right wing, down to Rhode on a give and go. Yetinecki in the lane, shots up. He might have traveled, but he got the lay-in. Yetinecki with the shot. He was all alone as the Bobcats tried to gamble on defense, and Taurus Yetinecki, who averages 8 per game, has his first 2 tonight, 4-3 Idaho State. Bobcats with the ball in the right corner, Shanfurch. He's hawked man-to-man by Miles. Up top to Crowell. Crowell bounce pass on the left wing to DeMaco. He pulls up the dribble. Pass up top to Shan, almost stolen by Miles. Shan with a bounce pass to Ray Willis. Rhode got a hand on it, but Willis maintains dribble left of the circle. A shake and bake move to the free throw line. Back to Crowell first. Top of the key jump shot. It's high at the rim, no good. And with the rebound in the lane, Rodney Harris. And Harris back to Troy Miles, and the Bobcats cold at the outset. MSU did get that one three-pointer from Ray Willis, but the Bobcats have missed their other 3 shots, and the fans now coming to their feet en masse in front of me. It's the student section, 4-3 Idaho State. Bengals with the ball in the right corner, Yetinecki. Cross-court pass on the left to Troy Miles. He's in three-point range, but he won't shoot the ball. The Bobcats playing a man-to-man defense. Up top to Don Holston. Holston is the big gun for ISU, guarded by Tom DeMaco. Off to Miles. Miles gets a high screen and dribbles between the circles. They slow it down again. And a 1-4 offensive set to Rhode on the right. Rhode to Yetinecki and drives to the right baseline, but won't take the shot. Crowell has him there, passing the lane. Holston turned for a shot from the baseline, won't go, in a foul call. Foul whistled in the lane. This will be number 1 called against the Bobcats in the first half. Dan Nixich, the referee from Spokane, has the call. It works against Mike Fellows, who is prone to foul trouble. He is fouled out of 6 games this season. His first and the first team foul against MSU. Holston, fouled in the active shooting, will go to the free throw line. Don Holston, a 73% free throw shooter, but oddly enough, he's not shooting that well in Big Sky Conference games. He's below 67% in Big Sky contests. The first one is up and down, good, and Don Holston has his 3rd point. ISU took the opening lead 2-0. The Cats came back 3-2, and now Idaho State leads 5-3 with a chance to make it 6-3. Holston's second free throw is up. It's a brick off the back rim. Fellows with the rebound. Outlet pass to Shan Furch. Furch hurries the ball to Ray on the right. He drives to the right baseline. Pulls it up. Back to DeMaco on the right wing. Penetration. He's double teamed to Ray Willis in the right corner. A long three-pointer. Air ball over the hoop. Fellows tried for it, but Troy Miles, one of the smallest guys on the court, at 6 feet tall, has the rebound, and he jitterbugs his way out of backcourt. 16:10 to play first half. It's 5-3 Idaho State by 2. Miles feeds it a high post to Yetinecki, and just off the free throw line right to Miles on the right wing, down low. Harris forces up the shot. He falls to the floor and misses the shot off the back rim too hard. Crawford with a rebound. Back to Tom DeMaco in front court. Shots off the glass for 2. And Holston is hurt in front court for Idaho State, and the officials finally see it, and they'll call for a timeout. DeMaco, as the Bobcats did get the fast break, was the recipient of a nice Crowell-Furch pass. Crowell made penetration toward the paint, kicked it back out to DeMaco, who made a 15-footer from the right side, and Tommy has his first basket tonight. The Bobcats tie it up at 5-5. That's our first tie of the first half with 15:53 left. And Don Holston appears to be favoring his right knee or lower leg on the right side as the trainer for Idaho State has come out to take a look at him. Holston 6'5", 190, a senior from Idaho, averages 4.7 a game. Troy Miles across the timeline on the right into front court to Rhode near the right sideline, back to Miles. Miles is hawked man-to-man by Willis. Off to Gordon Bean on the left near the 28-foot hash mark. He is really guarded closely by DeMaco. Gets the pass away. Shots up by Rhode. The left-hander can't get the ball to go down. Tipped around, and the rebound is taken in the near corner by Shan Furch in backcourt. Shank hurries the ball through the midcourt circle. A great move as he gets the ball on the right wing to Ray Willis. Willis up top to Crowell Furch. He was alone for a moment, but did not take the shot. Crowell penetration to the free throw line. Off to a fellow. Shot off the boards is too hard. No good, and Yetnekian with the rebound. The fans coming to their feet with every offensive charge for Montana State, particularly an offensive fast break, but to no avail that time as fellows missed a little 7-footer off the left. 5-5 the score. Idaho State with the ball. Yetnekian at a high post. Off on the right wing to Miles. Miles hands it back to Rodney Harris. Harris in turn gives the ball to Bean out front. Bean off on the left to Rhode. Down left it goes left to the lane to Harris, and he's fouled from behind, and that one might go against Crowell Furch, the senior co-captain of MSU. Foul on Crowell is his first, the second team foul against MSU with 14:49 left to play first half, and the score still tied 5-5. Idaho State ball underneath its own basket. Miles, the trigger man, plays the ball into Yetnekian at the free throw line. He spins but doesn't take the shot. Fellows has him man-to-man. Pass up ahead, stolen by Crowell Furch. A 2-on-1 fast break. Crowell in the middle. Pass off on the right side. Willis with a hang-time jumper. Blocked away, no good. Yetnekian had a hand on the ball, but Willis gets the ball baseline right. He's double-teamed, forces up a shot, and now a travel called against Ray Willis. The Bengals play some tough defense, and that time Ray Willis, for the first time in recent memory, had a shot on a fast break, or a shot of any sort for that matter, blocked. Couldn't tell who got his hand on the ball for Idaho State, and the Bengals now come the ball into front court. Miles with the pass to Gordon Bean on the right near the 28-foot hash mark to Yetnekian. Drives toward the paint, 12-footer angle right, won't go, ball knocked out of bounds to Montana State. Yetnekian's shot was pretty much an air ball, barely drew iron, and Montana State will have the ball at the end line and backcourt. Still no substitutions for the Cats, as MSU and Idaho State tied at 5-5, and the Bengals have so far been successful in slowing the tempo of this game down. Shan Furch into front court on the left, gets a high screen and goes out to the top of the key. To Tom DeMaco, off the left of the circle, a three-pointer, hits the front rim short, and DeMaco can't find the range so far. Yetnekian with the rebound, and Tommy might even be forcing a little bit as Yetnekian hands it back to Troy Miles, who will walk the ball out of backcourt straight ahead through the cap on the floor of the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. 13:55 to play in the first half. Pass to Yetnekian at a high post at the free throw line. Squares up, passing the lane. Holston back in, turns around for a shot and gets it. Don Holston has the quick two, and he now has 5 of 5. Used 7 points to give the Bengals a 7-5 lead. He hit that one, a quick turnaround, one-handed jump shot from about 10 feet away. Pass up front, stolen from Shan Furch to Ray Willis. Here comes Jim Rhode. He comes in and slams it in for Idaho State. Rhode with the slam dunk following a steal in a length of the court drive, and it's 9-5 Idaho State, and Montana State wants timeout. A break in the action with 13:26 left, first half from the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse in Bozeman. The score, ISU 9, Montana State 5, and we take timeout on this Bobcat basketball broadcast. Trail 9-5, and MSU has the ball at the midcourt stripe. In front court from the far sideline, DeMaco plays the ball into Shan Furch, who pulls up the dribble in the midcourt circle. Pass off to Crowell Furch on the left. Crowell drives into the free throw circle. Bounce pass to Ray Willis on the right wing. To DeMaco in the right corner. And this defense for ISU has the Bobcats a little bit befuddled so far. Crowell Furch on the left. Free throw line extended on the wing. Up top to Tom DeMaco. Makes the penetration into the lane. A running 10-footer is off the rim. No good. Mike Fellows gets, now the ball is still on the floor, tipped around. Fellows almost grabs it away from Yetnekian, and finally Don Holston took the free ball in the lane for Idaho State. Inside 13 minutes left to play first half, and ISU with a 9-5 lead. Troy Miles with the ball. Pass up top, deflected by Willis, stolen by Fellows. Up ahead to Crowell Furch, a 2-on-3 fast break. Crowell pulls up, has the ball knocked away by Rhode. Last touch by Crowell Furch out of bounds to Idaho State, and that's a nifty defensive play by Jim Rhode. Crowell came down, the drive stopped up about the right of the lane and wanted to take about a 10-foot jump shot. And Rhode got his hand on the ball, deflected it off of Crowell Furch, and it went out of bounds to Idaho State. Bengals ball at the end line and backcourt as Chris Conway enters along with Steve Snodgrass for the Bobcats. Mike Fellows and Ray Willis sit down. 12.5 to play first half. Don Holston for the Bengals in front court on the right near the 28-foot hash mark. Pass up top between the circles to Jim Rhode. Rhode at a high post to Yetnekian, guarded from behind by Snodgrass. Pass to Rhode in the left corner. Man-to-man defense still for Montana State. Both teams play a sticky man-to-man variety. Yetnekian at the free throw line. Dishes it over to Holston on the run toward the left side. A 15-foot banker from the left baseline doesn't go. The ball is deflected around and taken by Chris Conway. A 3-on-3 fast break. Conway at the free throw line has the ball tipped. He passes over to Shan Furch in the left corner. Shot's up and good, but a foul called. And I don't think that shot is going to count. Dan Nixich had his right hand in the air, the referee for tonight's game, as Shan Furch delivered that shot. It went down and even may have been a three-point shot. They haven't given him the hoop, and I'm not sure if we had a violation at the other end of the court. Let's see. Head coach Stu Starner is up off the MSU bench and talking to Dan Nixich, the referee tonight from Spokane. Not pleased with what has happened, and can't say I blame him because we haven't had any indication up here in the booth as to what the call is. They have called Crowell Furch for a foul, his second, apparently a pushing foul, thanks to Kurt Locks from KXXL, who's doing a yeoman's job again, doing stats for me this evening. That's Crowell's second foul. Crowell has yet to score tonight. The third team foul against MSU, and now the officials conferring with Jim Botan and Stu Starner at the scorer's table. Stu Starner is red hot. He is going after either Richard Nielsen or Rick Kuntz on the court, just verbally asking them what in the world happened and where that call came from. Did not see it myself, so I can't comment on it. 12:02 to play first half, 9-5. Idaho State with the lead at the end line in front court. The Bengals get the ball with the pass in the right corner to Yetnekian. Really hounded by Snodgrass. Yetnekian drives around him. Baseline drive. Shots up from 6 feet away. No good. And an offensive foul called on Toros Yetnekian. And Yetnekian has a temper of his own. He picked up a technical foul for Idaho State the first time these two teams met down in Pocatello January 15th, and he also fouled out of the game. So he's a physical player. Yetnekian with the personal, his first, and the second team foul called against Idaho State, and the officials have very much been a part of this first half. The Bobcats with the ball with Shan Furch in the left corner against a man defense. Hooked the pass inside for Calvin Andrews on the floor, but taken by Andrews. Back to Shan Furch. Dribble drive down the left baseline. Pass in the lane. Snodgrass goes up and he's fouled. Steve Snodgrass took the pass from Shan Furch, was actually underneath the backboard and wanted to bring it back out and lean up that little lay-in shot, but he was fouled, and now another timeout. This is an official's timeout with 11 minutes and 40 seconds to play, and this is an odd one that we've started off here at the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse in Bozeman. 11:40 left to play first half. It's ISU 9, Montana State 5, and we now take timeout on this Bobcat basketball broadcast. We had a foul just before the timeout, an official's timeout, and the foul was whistled against Jim Rhode of Idaho State, his second, the third team foul called against the Bengals in the half, and Steve Snodgrass at the free throw line makes the first one as the Cats now pull to within 9-6, and that's the first point scored in quite some time. Snodgrass is 63% free throw shooter, a junior college transfer from Peoria, Illinois, and he hits the second one as well. Snod has really worked hard on his free throwing in the last couple of weeks, and it seems to be paying off. 9-7, a full court press by Montana State, broken by Idaho State. A pass comes across the 10-second line to Troy Miles, who yo-yos the dribble up and down up top. Now pass down low. Holston comes in and jams it in. Wow! Don Holston with a one-handed slam dunk over Calvin Andrews, and Andrews journeys back to front court wondering what in the world happened. Chris Conway at the top of the key for Montana State. Snaps the pass to D'Amico on the left wing. Free throw line extended against the man defense. Holston guards D'Amico. Shan Furch right of the circle. Juke step move down to the right wing. Pulls up. Bounce pass to Conway through the midcourt circle. Taken by D'Amico. He pops it in. D'Amico with the score. Sort of a look what I found pass. Intended for Conway. Taken by D'Amico, who buried the 17-footer. Almost a steal in backcourt for Idaho State. Shan Furch. And let's see if they did call a held ball over there. I think they did. Shan Furch on the inbounds pass with the full court pressure by MSU, got his hands on the ball and then tied up Jim Rhode on the alternating possession rule. MSU gets the ball at the inline in front court. Shan with the inbounds pass to Tom D'Amico on top of the key. Back to Shan on the right wing. Free throw line extended. In the lane it goes to Calvin Andrews. Squares up for a 10-footer. A little bit too strong off the back rim. Comes softly down to Rodney Harris. The rebound for Idaho State, and the fans sit down because they know ISU is just going to plod the ball back into front court. Holston has 7 points to lead all scorers for ISU. He was not apparently hurt seriously, and I'm glad to see that. Ball on the floor, stolen by Chris Conway at the midcourt stripe. Drives in and lays it up, missed the lay-in. Rebound knocked out of bounds and a foul called on Don Holston. And Montana State missed the triple lay-in. Chris Conway got the steal up as Troy Miles lost control of the ball for Idaho State near the midcourt stripe. Conway came in, missed the lay-in, and Holston was over somebody's back on the rebound. That's Don's first foul, and the fourth team foul called against ISU in the first half. Shan Furch goes out, and Ray Willis is back on for Montana State. At the end line in front court, the Bobcats play the ball in. Conway, the trigger man, gets the ball in on the left wing to Ray Willis. Checked very closely by Mike Chatterton now in the game for the Bengals. Pass off on the left to Conway, who gets a nice change of pace dribble down to the left baseline. Double team there. Looks for Snodgrass. Lobs the ball in the lane. Snodgrass with the catch. Kicks it back out to Ray Willis for a jump shot, and he got it just outside the free throw line. Ray Willis with a three-pointer to start the scoring for Montana State tonight. Now has 5. And again, that full court pressure by MSU. Chatterton on the right and back court. Cross-court pass on the left to Jim Rhode, who just lazily brings the ball into front court on the left sideline to Yetnekian with the pass down low taken by Harris. Even though Snodgrass got a hand on the ball, Harris wound up with the ball and made the lay-in. Rodney Harris with his first hoop tonight averages 4.9 per game, and it's 13-11. Idaho State by a deuce with 9:45 to play in the first half. Calvin Andrews on the left wing for the Bobcats as the pace picks up to D'Amico out front. Tommy dribbles the ball to the left wing, down low to Snodgrass, drives in, shot block from Harris. Harris tries to save and does it way out near the midcourt stripe. And Rodney Harris just saves it to Chris Conway for the Bobcats near the 10-second line. Conway back with a hook pass in the free throw lane. Calvin Andrews is called for travel. The fans not pleased here tonight, and I don't think this is going to be the kind of game that many of the fans will enjoy watching, because Idaho State knows that if it gets into a run-and-gun type of affair with MSU, it doesn't stand a prayer. 9:25 to play in the first half. It's 13-11. The Bobcats are about ready to make some changes after that last time out. Pass up the top near the midcourt circle for Idaho State to Chatterton. Down low to Yetnekian for a shot. A 5-footer from the right baseline off the rim. No good. And Andrews battles for it a couple of times as the ball is tipped in the air with Rodney Harris. And Calvin Andrews comes out of there with the rebound for Montana State. Now down to 9 minutes left in the half, and the Bobcats with the ball in front court. Tom D'Amico on the right wing near the right sideline with an overhead pass to Calvin Andrews right of the circle. Back in the right corner to D'Amico for 3. It's good. And a possible 4-point play. A foul called on Don Holston. And listen to the fans go. Tom D'Amico made the 3-point shot from the right corner. And what's more, they called a foul on Don Holston, his second. The 15th foul called against the Cats. And the fans still fired up as MSU has made a couple of substitutions. Crowell Furch and Clayman Jacobs come on, and the Cats have just removed Shan Furch and Steve Snodgrass. Well, I guess Shan was already on the bench. Snodgrass and Calvin Andrews sit down. D'Amico from the free throw line, an 82% free thrower, gets that one, completes a rare 4-point play with a 3-point shot and a free throw. He now has 8 in the game after a slow first half start. In backcourt, Mike Chatterton is double teamed in backcourt. A lob pass up across the 10-second line to Jim Rhode on the left in front court for ISU, and the Bengals break the press. 8:44 left in the first half. Feed down low, and Holston comes down and again lays it in. Yetnekian took the pass at a high post, squared up and passed the ball to Holston, who found the seam to the hoop. And now Crowell Furch back the other way, drives to the basket himself, and he is fouled by one of the Idaho State players inside. So tit for tat here as the Bobcats have taken a 15-13 lead with that 4-point play by D'Amico from the corner, plus the free throw. Then Holston comes back for ISU. Now D'Amico will sit down. He's been replaced by Calvin Andrews. And the Bobcats' Crowell Furch will go to the free throw line, playing in his final regular season home game. Crowell with no points so far and 2 fouls. The 6'3.5" senior from Livingston. The left-hander has the free throw up and good. Last foul, by the way, was on Rodney Harris, his first. Scoreboard still has just 5 total fouls against Idaho State. I have them for 6. Crowell's second free throw is good, and the 76% free thrower will improve that mark with a couple of free throws there, and the full court pressure pulls up. The Bobcats with the steal. Ray Willis right to the hoop, lay in. Ray Willis got the ball at the free throw line and then drove down for the lay-in. It's now 19-15 MSU. Again, that full court pressure. Idaho State with the breaking of that pressure. A long pass up ahead. Rodney Harris comes in for a reverse jam. No good. And the ball taken down by Chris Conway. Harris went for a fancy slam dunk and didn't get it. Now Montana State back. Ray Willis, shake and bake move in the lane. Hang time jumper. Good! Ray Willis and Idaho State want time. With 8:03 to play first half, the score, Montana State 21, Idaho State 15. A run is coming for the Bobcats, and we take timeout on this Bobcat basketball broadcast.
People, one more shot, and this movie's in the
Fieldhouse in Bozeman. It's 21-15. Montana State with a 6-point lead on a 10-2 run. Idaho State ball at the end line and backcourt. Yetnekian gets the ball into a new guy in the game, George Davis. Davis up ahead to Rhode. Rhode to Don Holston on the right. In front court, Holston near the right wing. Lobs the pass to Troy Miles, who's back in at point guard, and ISU will set it up against a man-to-man MSU defense. Miles with a lob pass over to Holston on the right, to Yetnekian near the right corner, dribbles the ball a couple of times. He's checked by Clayman Jacobs, who's into the game for MSU. Up top, Jim Rhode out front at the point. Rhode, overhead pass to Holston on the right, near the 28-foot hash mark, to Yetnekian in the right corner. Again, Jacobs with the hands in his face. Yetnekian gets the ball back again in the right corner, spins down to the baseline, doesn't take the shot. Up top to Troy Miles, just off the right of the key. Shot spins off, no good. Holston with the offensive rebound. It's knocked out of bounds, and last touch by Holston, so says the official down low. Holston had the board, and credit a great defensive play by Ray Willis for the Bobcats. He got those quick hands of his inside and knocked the ball free from Holston. Bobcat ball in the midst of a 10-2 run, 7:13 left in the first half. Chris Conway jitterbugs his way to the left wing, pulls up, lob the pass out top to Crowell Furch. Check man-to-man by Toros. Down it goes to Conway, drives the left baseline, shoots and scores. Conway with the penetrating drive down the baseline, made the 10-footer. Again, full court pressure. Almost a steal by Conway, but the pass taken on the right and back court by Troy Miles. And Miles with the tight right-handed dribble across the 10-second line on the right into front court to Don Holston. So the Bobcats get the shot from Conway, who averages about 3 per game, and now lead 23-15. Jim Rhode with a pass off in the left, almost stolen by Willis. Up top again to Rhode. Rhode right of the circle to George Davis, again to Rhode. And Rhode is picked up by Ray Willis man-to-man, and Idaho State resets its offense as the shot clock now comes down to 17 and counting. Game clock at 6:29 in the first half, MSU by 8. George Davis on the right wing, free throw line extended for ISU, dribbles once, gets it up at the top of the circle to Rhode. Makes penetration to the right wing, lobs the shot up. It's an air ball over the hoop and off the backboard on the far side. Jacobs with the rebound to Chris Conway. Conway to Ray Willis on the left wing. Between the legs dribble, drives into the lane. Shot blocked by Miles, taken by Andrews. Put back, it's off the rim, no good. Jacobs fought for the rebound, didn't get it. Now he runs over Rhode, who grabbed the loose ball, and it's a foul on Jacobs, and they had to call that one. Foul on Clayman. Jacobs with the foul, his first. The 4th team foul called against MSU in the first half with 6:04 left to play. 23-15 MSU by 8 in the midst of a 12-2 Bobcat run. From the far sideline in backcourt, Idaho State plays the ball in. Troy Miles will slowly, casually somewhat I guess, drive the ball through the midcourt circle as he walks it into front court. Conway has him man-to-man. Pass to Holston on the right. Holston in the right corner to George Davis. Davis at the free throw line to Holston. Drive down the lane, all the way to the hoop, layup, good, foul called. Don Holston has an awful lot of ability, and that time he made a nice move down the right of the lane where nobody picked him off. Got the running scoop shot to go from 5 feet away, and the Bobcats now take Calvin Andrews out and bring Tommy DeMaco back in at that forward spot. Foul called, not sure against whom. DeMaco is back in. Holston gets the bucket. He now has 11 in the first half, averages 18.1 per game. The foul now whistled overall against Calvin Andrews as Holston, that 73% free thrower, has his 12th point as he makes the free throw. The foul again on Andrews, his first, and the 15th foul called against the Bobcats. Now the ball loose in front court for MSU, stolen, but almost taken back by Montana State, and now is recovered by Ray Willis in backcourt along the right sideline to Chris Conway. So Willis with good hustle as the Bobcats have the ball to Crowell Furch on the left wing, free throw line extended. Toros Yetnekian guards him out there. Crowell dribbles a couple of times, pass out top again to DeMaco. Now off right of the circle to Conway, back in the free throw lane, shot up and good by DeMaco. Tommy DeMaco took the pass and sort of on the run, off balance, made a 14-footer straight on just inside the free throw line. Again, the full court press by MSU. Pass comes into George Davis. Davis in the middle of backcourt to Rhode on the left sideline. Back to Yetnekian in the middle. Toros looks for somebody, passes across the timeline to George Davis, who huddles the ball like a bear hug and now gives it off to Troy Miles. Miles holds up the left hand with 3 fingers to signify the offense. Pass to Yetnekian at a high post, back to Miles on the left wing. Again to Yetnekian, just left of the circle. Dribbles once, looks inside. The big guy's cut through the lane. Now Holston down to the right baseline, drives in, shoots a 5-footer on the run and scores. Holston now with 14 points for MSU. Don Holston, rather for Idaho State, and the Bobcats with Ray Willis passing to Tommy DeMaco on the left wing. Tommy pass up top, a bad pass stolen by Rhode, who dribbles the ball off his knee and saves it along the left baseline, lobs the pass to Holston, and he was out of bounds. Jim Rhode, and that's a little bit discouraging for Idaho State fans, and certainly embarrassing for Jim Rhode of the Bengals, who got the steal at the top of the key and brought the ball all the way back. And as he got to about the top of the key in front court, dribbled the ball off his knee and couldn't save it before he was actually on the end line, out of bounds. The Bobcats have it with Crowell Furch. Knifes through the lane, but as he goes down through the lane on the drive, It's tipped away and stolen. Rhode got his hand on it, and the steal completed by Troy Miles of Idaho State. 4:03 left in the half. It's 25-20, Montana State by 5. For the Bengals, Yetnekian with a shovel pass back in the left wing to Miles. Miles again guarded by Conway, who is really playing the passing lanes very well. Conway almost got a steal, but now Miles takes a handoff and brings it back up top between the circles and holds up his left hand again, signifying the ISU offense. To George Davis on the right wing, free throw line extended. At the free throw line it goes to Holston. Pulls up, 16-footer up, short off the front rim. The rebound to Ray Willis. A 2-on-3 fast break, and Willis wisely will slow things down left of the circle. Ray Willis down low to Crowell first, who banks the shot good from the left baseline. Crowell leaned in for a little 12-footer and got it. He now has 4 points, his first field goal from the floor, and the Bobcats, he does have a couple of free throws. With 3:15 left to play in the half, it's MSU 27, Idaho State 20. Bengals with the ball. Don Holston at the 28-foot hash mark on the right to George Davis, right wing. Davis cross-court pass. Willis tried to fill the lane but couldn't steal it to Miles. Miles left of the circle down low to Yetnekian. He's called for an offensive foul. Toros Yetnekian apparently ran over the man who had switched and taken him defensively, Ray Willis. Clayman Jacobs will go out for Montana State. Mike Fellows is back in, and now a timeout called by Idaho State coach Jim Botan. We'll keep it right here with 3 minutes and 2 seconds left to play in the first half. Yetnekian just picked up the foul, and 6 more at Western Oregon State College in Monmouth, Oregon. His assistants are Alan Quarter, who's just 29 years old, and Barry Janish, who's just 27. So a young coaching staff for ISU. Bobcats bring the ball out of backcourt following the timeout. Chris Conway with a left-hand dribble to Ray Willis out high on the right. Just right of the free throw circle, it goes to Crowell first. Crowell drives into the lane, leans in for a 12-footer. It's off the back rim, won't go, and a foul called in the rebounding action. I think it's going to go against Idaho State, and if it's against Yetnekian, he looks a little bit ticked. With 2:47 to play, it's not against Toros Yetnekian. The personal will go against George Davis, his first, and now we'll see some free throws for the Bobcats, or at least we should. It's the 1-and-1 for MSU, as Idaho State has committed 8 or 9 team fouls in the first half. 2:47 left, 27-20, Montana State by 7, and Mike Fellows will go to the free throw line in the bonus situation. Mike, with no points yet tonight, is averaging 7.4 points per game and is just a 46% free throw shooter. Eyes the hoop. The sophomore from Shoto missed it off the back rim, but Ray Willis with the rebound, baseline right, pulls up for the jump shot. It's in and out, no good, and Rhode rebounds in the lane for Idaho State. So Willis got the offensive rebound, put it right back up in a fadeaway fashion from the right baseline, but couldn't get it to go. And Idaho State comes back with a chance to cut that lead down to either 4 or 5. Troy Miles between the circles to Rhode. Rhode out to Davis on the right wing. Free throw line extended. Up top to Gordon Bean. Bean to Troy Miles on the left wing. Man defense for Montana State. Yetnekian in the left corner. Holston is not in right now for ISU. Yetnekian dribbles to the top of the key. Holds the ball high overhead. He's 6'8". To Rhode on the right wing. In the lane it goes to Davis. Turnaround jump shot. 6-footer good. George Davis, a 6'6" junior from Vallejo, California. A transfer from Sacramento City College put that one in. The Bobcats have the ball in front court. D'Amico just off the free throw line. Angle left shots up and down. Tom D'Amico for 2. Tom D'Amico, after missing 3 early shots, has warmed up, has 1 3-pointer, plus a 4-point play as a part of that 3-point jump shot he made. He has a total of 12 points in the half, and the Bobcats lead 29-22. For Idaho State, Troy Miles with a juke step move across the timeline into front court to Gordon Bean on the right near the sideline. D'Amico is really with him like glue up top near the midcourt stripe. Pass to George Davis on the right, and he's fouled by Mike Fellows, and Fellows just kind of looks to the official and says, "What did I do?" Fellows picks up his second foul. I have the Bobcats for 16 fouls now. Crowfurch goes out. Chris Conway goes out. Calvin Andrews and Chan Furch re-enter for MSU. And the Bobcats have some fresh troops in there. George Davis goes out for Idaho State, and Holston got just a bit of a breather and comes back on for the black-clad Bengals. 29-22 MSU by 7 with 1:30 now to play in the first half. And the shot clock reset inside 44 now. Rhode on the right high. On the right wing to Toros Yetnekian. Andrews has him man-to-man. At the free throw line it goes to Rhode. Rhode lobbed the pass in deep for Bean, and the ball is now tipped away and stolen by Mike Fellows. A great defensive play to Shan Furch, who jitterbugs his way into front court. A long 3-pointer off the rim, no good, and Yetnekian rebounds for Idaho State. Shan had the 3-pointer, pulled up and popped it, but couldn't get it. And the fans, again, after standing up on the fast break, sit back down with 1 minute left in the first half. And the score 29-22. Idaho State down by 7 with the ball. Darren Allman into the high post. Out to Troy Miles, angle left. Down low goes to Yetnekian. Layup off the rim, no good. Allman fights for the rebound. Putback is no good. Again, Allman, a putback no good. And Shan first gets the rebound for Montana State. Shan back on a 3-on-3 in the middle. Tom DeMaco in the right corner, a 20-footer up and good! DeMaco now has 14 points, and that fast break was very, very productive for Montana State. Shan first with the assist, DeMaco with the hoop, and Ray Willis knocks the ball out of bounds to Idaho State on that full court pressure. Montana State really wasn't going to go full court, but Ray saw an open angle and cut off the pass on the inbounds play in backcourt for Idaho State, and the Bengals now get a second chance and bring the ball into front court with Troy Miles on the right-hand dribble. Pass on the left at the 28-foot hash mark to Holston. Holston to Yetnekian on the left wing. Free throw line extended. He's really hassled by Andrews and called for a 5-second violation. Yetnekian just moved the ball around in his hands trying to find somebody. First up about eye high, then down shoulder high into his chest. Couldn't find anybody to pass it to. And with Andrews within that 3-foot radius of him, he had to pass it off in 5 seconds and didn't do so. Bobcats with the ball in front court. DeMaco on the left, fakes the shot, goes to the free throw line, now pops. It's short. Fight for the rebound, tipped around and taken by Idaho State at the buzzer. That's the end of the first half. The Bengals came back in a hurried fashion and tried to get the shot to go. Could not do so. MSU, that is, and the Bobs will start off with Troy Miles, Don Holston, Jim Rhode, Toros Yetnekian, and Rodney Harris. They're starting 5 as well, and they get the ball to start the second half, working to the basket to my left. Don Holston on the left near the 28-foot hash mark. Pass to Yetnekian on the left wing. Looks inside for Rodney Harris. Can't find anybody. Yetnekian now passes in the lane to Jim Rhode, who lays it in. The ball laid on the rim for a moment and then settled in. So it's 2 for Rhode, and the Bengals start off with a deuce. Shan first down to the left baseline for Montana State. The basket to my right, up top to Mike Fellows. He might have traveled, no violation called. DeMaco on the left wing, lobs the pass to Crowell Furch in the left corner. Crowell now looks inside. Some cutters go through, but nobody is open. DeMaco takes the ball, drives in, little 4-footer left baseline is good for Tom DeMaco. And the Bobcats start off again with their full court press. It's a 1-2-1-1 trap. It's the steal for Shan Furch, and he banks it in from the left. A 14-footer by Shan Furch, the quick hands in the steal, and it's 35-24. The Bengals have the ball at the inline and backcourt. Holston has the ball off his hands, and he is now down in a pile underneath the Montana State Bobcat basket. And Holston is holding on to his leg again. He did injure himself in the first half, so we'll have to see just what the situation is right now for Idaho State. Gordon Bean is up off the Bengal bench, and he apparently wants to come in. A foul has been called on Ray Willis, for Montana State. Another score just in. We'll try to find out just how much time was remaining in the second half on that one. But from Dahlberg Arena in Missoula, the Weber State Wildcats lead the Montana Grizzlies 43-41. It was 41-40 Weber at halftime. The foul called on Ray Willis, and it's Idaho State ball. That's the first second-half team foul against either team. And Toros Yetnekian on the right and backcourt breaks the full court pressure with a pass to Gordon Bean on the right and front court. Up ahead it goes to Troy Miles. He is trapped. The ball's tipped away and loose, and Miles gets the ball near the right sideline and loops the pass out near the midcourt stripe to Rhode, who comes to the top of the key, pops a three-pointer. It's off the front rim, won't go, and Fellows with a gorilla rebound for Montana State. He took steps, but again was not called for a violation. Gets the pass to Shan Furch, to Crowell Furch, knifes his way down the lane. A finger roll lay-in, won't go, and a rebound to Gordon Bean. So Crowell Furch tried to force the issue with a nice drive into the lane, but the underhand scoop or finger roll lay-in, if you will, would not drop for him. It's 35-24, and again, it's a trap on the right sideline for Montana State, but ISU gets the ball down into the lane. Rhode with a pass down low to Harris, knocked out of bounds by Ray Willis. Idaho State ball, working to the basket to my left at the end line in front court. Troy Miles, the trigger man. Looks in the lane, nobody open there, lobs the pass out between the circles to Rodney Harris. Harris is 6'5", a junior from Gary, Indiana, transfer from Paris Junior College in Texas, has 2 points. To Gordon Bean on the left at the 28-foot hash mark, hands it back to Rodney Harris at the same position. In the free throw circle to Gordon Bean. He's trapped and double-teamed. Snaps the pass off left of the lane to Harris. Back out top it goes to Rhode. Rhode back to Harris. And the shot clock now is down to 5, 4, and counting down. Off on the right, a shot by Troy Miles. Good with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Troy Miles with his first basket tonight. He leaned in for a 14-footer from the right wing, and Montana State with the ball. On the left baseline, double team DeMaco with the ball on the floor, tipped away and stolen, but Idaho State, the guy with the ball, was on the end line out of bounds. Bobcat basketball. And Troy Miles was the man who last touched it, but was out of bounds. He was lying on the floor, and part of his body was out of bounds. The inline and front court, Montana State ball. Shan first plays the ball in the left corner to Crowell. Crowell dribbles back out to the left wing. Laterals it back at the 28-foot hash mark on the left side to Tom DeMaco. DeMaco to Ray Willis. Willis with the dribble drive to the left wing. To Crowell first in the left corner. Cross-court pass to DeMaco on the right. Fakes the shot. Now moves in a step and shoots and scores. Tom DeMaco, not a three-pointer, but boy, that was sweet anyway, as he faked the shot from way out in three-point range and then came in a step and buried an 18-footer from the right wing. 37-26 MSU by 11. The full court pressure on the right and backcourt. Bean passes ahead to Jim Rhode. A 3-on-2 fast break. Rhode penetrates the lane, drives in, dishes off to Yetnecki, and he makes a two-footer from the baseline. Rhode just ran over Mike Fellows and no foul called. And Yetnecki, with everybody else either on the floor or just looking on, gets the little cripple. 37-28 Montana State ball in front court. Crowell Furch out front at the point. Dribbles to the left wing. Pass in the lane to Fellows. Squares up, shoots, scores. Won't count. A foul has been called as Fellows receives the basketball. And Don Holston, who was hurt and went out for a moment, comes back in. And the Bengals will bring Holston on along with George Davis and will replace them. Or those two will replace, rather, Rodney Harris and Gordon Bean. The foul on Fellows is his third. That is the Bobcats' second team foul in the second half. And underneath their own, Yetnecki with a foul. Pardon me, and the Bobcats get the ball back in the left corner. Shan Furch shoots and scores. Shan Furch has now 4 points in the second half, and again, full court pressure by Montana State. Double teamed in backcourt. Davis gets the pass up ahead to Don Holston. Holston dribbles all the way down the lane on the drive, goes to the left-handed lane, can't get it. A putback, no good by Davis. Again, Holston with the offensive rebound. Fadeaway jump shot left baseline, good. Don Holston faded away and made that shot his first hoop of the second half. He's been hurt twice and has come back following the injuries on two occasions to do a good job. It's 39-30 Montana State by 9. Crowell Furch at the free throw line. Out in three-point range, a shot by DeMaco for three. Tom DeMaco now with 21 points, 7 already in the second half. Inside 16 minutes to play in the half, and it's 42-30 MSU. Idaho State with the ball on the right sideline in backcourt. Don Holston gets it in back of him, still in backcourt to Yetnecki, who dribbles through a double team. Did not get across the timeline in time. A 10-second violation against Idaho State. And the Bobcats have come out with some very good full-court pressure, which has really rattled ISU here at the start of the second half. Bear in mind, at halftime, it was 31-22, and it's now 42-30, Montana State by 12. So the Bobcats have upped their 9-point halftime lead to a dozen, and Steve Snodgrass has come into the game for MSU, replacing Mike Fellows. Bobcat ball in front court, right of the circle, Ray Willis. Snaps the pass on the right to DeMaco. A three-pointer, a 22-footer is off the back rim, and Rhode rebounds for Idaho State. 15:30 to play in the game. 42-30 Montana State with the lead. And the Bengals with the ball between the circles. Troy Miles, overhead pass on the left to Holston. He's trapped and double-teamed, dribbles through it, drive into the lane, hook the pass to Yetnecki, and drive in, shots off the boards, won't go, foul called, or travel. Yetnecki with a travel as he drove in. Great penetration by Holston, but it's all for naught. Team fouls at 1 each in the second half. 15-15 to play in the game. 42-30 Montana State with a 12-point lead, and the Bobcats have the ball. Ray Willis dribble drive down the right baseline. Hangs for a 5-footer. It's blocked by Yetnecki, but a foul has been called against Idaho State. I think Troy Miles will pick up the foul. Willis got around Miles. Miles then kind of reached in from the side and got him with the body. Miles with his first foul, the second team foul. The first team foul against ISU was whistled against Toros Yetnecki in his third. So if you're scoring along with me, Fellows has 2 fouls for Montana State, not 3, as I had said earlier. A 2-shot foul. Ray Willis with 9 first-half points. Misses the free throw off the front rim, no good. He is a 70% free throw shooter, but he's been better than that in Big Sky games at 76%. He'll have one more. He could make it 43-30 by burying this one. The junior from Skyline High School in Dallas has it. And Ray reaches double figures tonight. He averages 16.5 per game. Idaho State in backcourt, working right to left. Against the full court pressure, Toros Yetnecki, and a long overhead pass across the timeline to Davis. Davis cross-court pass on the left wing. It goes to Rhode, and Rhode brings it back out near the mid-court stripe and holds up 3 fingers on his left hand to call out the offense for ISU. Pass to Yetnecki, and he dribbles the ball off his left shoe out of bounds. Toros Yetnecki wasn't looking for the pass from Jim Rhode, and Idaho State is self-destructing here with some help by a great pressure defense for Montana State. Inside 15 minutes to play in the game, 43-30. Bobcats with a 13-point lead. Shan Furch dribble drive into the left corner. Shot's on its way. It's high off the rim, no good. A tip, no good by D'Amico. Ball loose in the lane, and a foul has been called against Idaho State in the rebounding action. And again, my hat's off to the Montana State Bobcats for really battling on the boards tonight. At halftime, MSU had a one-rebound lead at 16-15. And in the second half, it's probably looking much the same. Foul against George Davis, his second for Idaho State. And that's the 13th foul called against the Bengals. Bobcat ball, Ray Willis on the right wing. Left of the circle to Crowd first. Drives into the lane. Pass to Ray off his hands, but he gets it. Back in the left baseline. A 12-footer fadeaway. Off the rim, won't go. Ball batted out and taken by Shan Furch near the midcourt stripe. Shan with a pass to Crowd first, left corner. Shots up and good. Shan Furch to his older brother Crowd. The assist for Shan, the hoop for Crowd. He now has 6 in the game. And the Bengals break the pressure defense with Don Holston. Dribble drive all the way down the lane for a lay-in off the right side. The layup for Holston makes it 18 points, and the fans twice. Oh, Crowd first back the other way. A reverse lay-in for 2. The Bobcats broke Idaho State's full court pressure with a long pass up ahead. Crowd Furch weaved in down the lane and went through the lane for a reverse lay-in. Idaho State back with Yetnekian breaking the pressure at the free throw line. Back out top to Troy Miles, and now the fans will get a chance to take a breath. Holston off on the left wing. Holston in the left corner to George Davis. Davis brings it back out top to the top of the circle, hands it off to Jim Rhode, the left-handed playmaking guard, to Holston on the right wing. He buries a three-pointer from the right wing, about a 20-footer for Don Holston. He's now up to 21 points tonight to lead the Bengals, and it's 47-35. Bobcats with the ball in front court. Crowd first at a high post, squares up at the free throw line. Pass down left baseline for D'Amico. Tipped and stolen by Idaho State's Jim Rhode. Rhode now at the ball, and he leaves it back to Troy Miles, whose father, Eddie Miles, was an All-American basketball player for Seattle University several years ago and actually played 9 years in the NBA. To Holston on the right sideline, 28-foot hash mark. To Yetnekian in the right corner. Toros back up top to George Davis. Davis lofts it back to Yetnekian, who again, in a football handoff fashion, gives the ball to Miles. Miles back to Yetnekian on the right wing. Man-to-man defense for Montana State. That's been the way it's been all night. To Rhode on the left wing. A long three-pointer. Won't go. The rebound to Crowd first up ahead to Ray Willis. A 4-on-3 fast break. Ray Willis at the free throw line. A shake and bake move down the lane. Pulls up 12-footer high up the board. Ooh, it's over the backboard out of bounds, but deflected away by ISU. And Montana State will have the ball as substitutions come on. Willis will take a seat. Chris Conway comes in. Calvin Andrews comes in with him. And Tom D'Amico will also sit down for Montana State. And Idaho State will take out Toros Yetnekian. And they have replaced him with, I think, no, it's Gordon Bean back in. Not Rodney Harris, Gordon Bean. Bobcat ball underneath their own hoop. A lob pass out right of the circle to Crowd Furch. Crowd to Chris Conway with the left-hand dribble in a greyhound kind of manner. He dribbles down to the left wing. Pass out top for Shannon, stolen by Jim Rhode. Rhode comes all the way down the lane and lays it in. Jim Rhode now has 6 points, 4 in the second half. That time he didn't dribble the ball off his knee and got the lay-in on the fast break. 47-37. Montana State ball on the left wing. Calvin Andrews pass down low. Snodgrass on the baseline has the ball stripped away and knocked out of bounds by Jim Rhode. Underneath their own hoop again, MSU ball with 12:21 left and a 10-point lead. Shan first bounced the ball in the left wing to Crowd first. Crowd out top to Conway. Conway comes on the right wing to Andrews. A tough man-to-man defense for Idaho State. To Crowd first, who drives to the free throw line. Bounce pass to Shan on the left. An 18-footer, a high archer, high out the back rim, and Gordon Bean with the long rebound in the right corner for Idaho State. Now down to 12 minutes left to play in this one, and it's 47-37. Montana State by 10. Dribbling slowly through the midcourt circle, right to left. Troy Miles for Idaho State. Snaps the one-handed pass off on the right near the sideline to Rhode. Rhode in the right wing to Bean. Bean is picked up man-to-man by Crowd Furch. Bean inside the free throw circle to Rhode. Fadeaway jump shot, good. An 18-footer by Jim Rhode, very near the three-point line, and he actually was fading away. The left-hander now has 8 points, and it's 47-39. That's the closest that ISU has drawn in quite some time. Shan Furch in the right corner for MSU. A no-look pass to Calvin Andrews. Shot off the glass. Won't go off the rim, and a rebound comes down to Rhode as Steve Snodgrass was kicked out of there and hit the deck hard. No foul called. We haven't had many fouls in the second half. 4 total, 3 against Idaho State. 11:19 left in the game. George Davis at a high post. Feeds the ball to Rhode, who drives in, lays it up. Good foul called against Montana State. And the Bobcats' lead, which was 10 about 30 seconds ago, could be cut in half at the end of a three-point play, possibly for Idaho State. We're going to have an official's timeout. Rhode will get the hoop. He's now up to 10 points in the game, 8 in the second half. Conway with the foul, his first. An official's timeout with 11:15 to play in the game. The score, Montana will go to the free throw line. Jim Rhode to try to complete a three-point play. The Bengals, in the midst of an 11-2 run, have drawn to within 47-41. And Rhode at the line, the left-hander, is a 42% free throw shooter, one of the worst on the team, and he buries it. Rhode draws nothing but net. 11 for him in the game. Bobcats now with a 5-point lead, 47-42. And Chris Conway comes out of backcourt, spins his way on a high screen all the way down the lane. Driving layup is off the rim. Won't go. Rebound to Ray Willis in the lane. In the Big Timbers. The shot's up. Good. It won't count. A foul has been called against Idaho State before the shot. How did Ray Willis even get that shot off? He got the offensive rebound as he climbed the boards. And against some much bigger people, Ray then banked a 5-footer good, but it won't count. A foul has been called against Gordon Bean, the 6'7 junior college transfer from Elk Ridge, Utah. His first, the fourth team foul against ISU. Bobcat ball underneath its own hoop. Ball inbounded to Clayman Jacobs, who's just entered. Back to Chris Conway on the left wing. The ball tipped away from him and stolen by Troy Miles. Miles laterals it back to Gordon Bean. And now back to Miles, who will come into front court for Idaho State. The Bengals trying to come within either 2 or 3 now. Rhode on the right. In the right corner to George Davis. Guarded very loosely by Clayman Jacobs. Davis at the free throw line to Rhode. Rhode cross-court pass on the left wing to Miles. Free throw line extended. Check man-to-man by Conway. Conway, a good defensive player. Pass off on the right. Almost stolen by Ray Willis. And he's been called for a foul, and he disagrees with the call, but it's not going to matter. Tried to make a steal. Coming around his man, Jim Rhode. Rhode hit the deck. Willis with his second foul, both of them coming in the second half, and the third MSU team foul of the second half. 10.5 minutes exactly to play, and the Bobcats leading 47-42. From the far sideline, the Bengals throw it away, tipped away by D'Amico, and a steal completed by Ray Willis, who brings the ball into front court. They're working to the basket to my right. Chris Conway out front to D'Amico, who knifes down the lane, hangs for it, a 10-footer. It's in, and a foul called. Tommy D'Amico now with 23 points. And he was fouled along the way by Darren Allman. That can't be. Darren Allman isn't even in there. I think they meant 32. They did. George Davis with his third foul. Allman wears 42. And D'Amico at the free throw line so far tonight has been there once, made it, and he again makes the free throw to complete this time a 3-point play. Last time was a 4-point play. The full court pressure by Montana State almost produces a steal at the end line and back court. Davis has the ball. He's trapped. Gets it off in the right corner. Another double team by MSU. But Idaho State breaks it and gets the ball across the timeline ahead of the 10-second count to George Davis. ISU ball in front court. Troy Miles to Jim Rhode on the right wing. Rhode into the right corner. George Davis with a 15-footer. It's in and out. And Andrews rebounds for Montana State. Calvin up ahead to Chris Conway, who scoots into front court, angling to his left with the left-hand dribble, weaves to the free throw line, to Calvin Andrews, right of the circle. At the free throw line, D'Amico looks for a shot. Ball tipped away and stolen by Miles, but a foul has been called as D'Amico had the ball knocked out of his hands. Now 9:44 to play, and the score 50-42, Montana State by 8. D'Amico with 24 points to lead all scorers. Holston has 21 for ISU. The foul on Bean, his second, and team foul number 6 against Idaho State. Bobcat ball underneath their own hoop. Ball the pass in the lane. Andrews fakes the shot, goes up, and goes in, and a foul called. Calvin Andrews. Nice lob pass by Chris Conway underneath the basket. He found Calvin Andrews, who on that out-of-bounds play just kind of found a little seam, took the pass, went for the head and shoulder fake, and then went up for it and laid it off the glass for 2. Calvin, averaging 3.2 points per game, has played in all 24 Bobcat contests this season. Looking for the free throw, missed it off the front rim. The ball is tipped out, though, to Montana State's Chris Conway at the midcourt stripe. Snaps the one-handed pass to Ray Willis on the right wing, and the Bobcats get the ball back. Man-to-man defense. Willis with a nice change of pace dribble. Up right of the circle to Andrews. Andrews to Conway out front. To D'Amico in the left wing. Tommy lobbed the pass to Willis. Drive down the lane. He was fouled along the way, and he'll get the bonus free throws. 52-42 the score. Montana State has stopped the Idaho State run and now is looking to try to put this game on ice. Andrews, after making a fine play, goes out. And back into the game for the Cats, Crowell Furch. The Cats now have Chris Conway and Ray Willis at the guards, and the 3 frontline players are Tom D'Amico, Crowell Furch, and Clayman Jacobs. Jake's mom is here watching tonight from Houston. Clayman is 6'6", 225, a sophomore from Houston, Texas. In the 1-and-1, Ray Willis at the free throw line. Free throws up and good. And Ray tonight is now 2 for 3, the 70% free throw shooter with his 11th point. Outstanding student in speech communications, a junior from Dallas's Skyline High School. Gets the second free throw, draws nothing but cord. 12 for Ray, 54-42. Again, the full court pressure, 1-2-1-1 full court trap. At the right and back court, Troy Miles hooks the pass to Toros Yetnecki and up ahead to Don Holston. From the left of the lane, shoots, scores, and a foul called against MSU. Holston pulled up in a pretty jump shot that he has, made the 10-footer and a foul called against the Bobcats. Clayman Jacobs, that will be his second. Holston now has 23 tonight, and the top two scorers in the Big Sky Conference are dueling it out. But more importantly, this Big Sky Conference game on the line, and Holston misses the free throw badly, but Rhode rebounds. The ball really kicked high off the rim, and Rhode got the ball out at the free throw line. And ISU has it. Troy Miles out top. Might have traveled, no violation called. Pass on the left near the sideline to Holston. Holston on the left wing to Yetnecki, and Crawford now has him man-to-man. Toros to the top of the key, pulls up the dribble. Allowed the pass to Holston on the right wing. Dribble drive down to the baseline. 12-footer up and good. Don Holston now has 25, and we're running out of room, folks, for these big scores. 54-46, 8:45 left in the game. Cats with the ball at the top of the key. Idaho State will not quit, and that's its tradition. Crowell first right of the circle, leaves it back to Chris Conway, top of the key, to DeMaco, who drives to the free throw line, spins, leans in for a 14-footer, short, barely drew iron, and Rhode rebounds. Rhode will push the ball up and now slows it up and gives it back to Troy Miles, the point guard. Miles, 6 feet tall, a junior from Seattle, Washington, a transfer from Edmonds Community College, just outside of Seattle. In the right corner, George Davis holds the ball high overhead, actually bounces the ball off the top of his head, and now passes up top to Rhode. Rhode snaps the pass left of the circle to Miles. Miles back to Yetnecki, who starts off on the wing and dribbles out to the top of the key to Don Holston. DeMaco has him man-to-man. Now Miles on the left. A 15-footer, swish. Miles has 4 points, all coming in the second half, and it's 54-48. Idaho State sneaks back in, and a timeout called by the Bobcats with 7:56 to play. The score now, Montana State 54, Idaho State 48, and we take timeout on this Bobcat for the Big Sky Conference season. And just underway, Idaho 4, Boise State 4. 7:50 left, Bobcats ball. They're attacking the hoop to my right. Chris Conway, top of the circle. Snaps the pass to Clayman Jacobs on the right wing. Inside the free throw circle, Crawford at the free throw line, shoots and misses. Battle for the rebound, and Clayman Jacobs, I think, was fouled by George Davis. Yes, he was. Jake really went strong to the boards, and MSU is not being outboarded by much in this game, if at all. At halftime, the Bobcats had 16-15 over Idaho State in rebounds, and our statistician Kurt Laux tells me that they have out-rebounded Idaho State in the second half as well. Davis will go out, and ISU has brought in Darren Allman again. He's a redshirt freshman from Laramie, Wyoming, 6'8.5", 220, who averages a 1.5 per game. The foul a moment ago was on George Davis. They have him for 5. I just had him for 4. He may have just fouled out with 7:40 left. Jacobs with the free throw, up and good. Clayman with his first point in a long time. He didn't play that much against Weber State, but did not manage to score a point. He is a 70% free throw shooter, and he buries the second one as well. So great job, Clayman Jacobs, and it's 56-48. His 2 free throws stop a bit of a run by Idaho State with 7:30 to play. Troy Miles leans over the timeline as he crosses it with the right-hand dribble, angles to his right, taps the pass to Holston on the right sideline, to Toros Yetnecki in the right corner. He's really hounded man-to-man by Fellows. Yetnecki drives around him, baseline drive. He misses the lay-in, fight for the rebound, and Jacobs comes out of there like a big guy that he is. A pass up ahead to Crawford. Behind the back dribble, nice in, shot blocked, foul called against Idaho State. I'll say this for Idaho State. The Bengals have not allowed too many driving lay-ins off the MSU fast break tonight. Either they have blocked the ball away, or in this instance, a block and a foul. Rhode picks up the foul. That's going to be his 3rd. And Crawford will go back to the free throw line, shooting 2. It's 56-48, just in case you're just tuning in. MSU by 8. Crowell with 8 points, now 9. He has hit all 3 of his free throws tonight. His first opportunity of the second half, the left-hander, deep knee bend, nice deep breath shots, up and good. 10 for Crowell Furch. So he does have double figures tonight, and it's 58-48. Crowell playing in his final regular season home game as a Bobcat. approaching the 7-minute mark to play. And it's the Bobcats by 10. Idaho State with the ball in front court to my left. Toros Yetnekian in the right corner. Looks in the lane. The big guys flash through, nobody open. Holston takes the ball right to the lane and dribbles the ball out of bounds at the baseline. Don Holston was really hassled first by Crowell Furch and then good double-team support by Mike Fellows. So credit the two of them for creating that turnover. Bobcat ball. In the left corner, Crowell Furch allowed the pass left of the lane to Jacobs. Drives down to the baseline. Fadeaway jump shot. High off the rim. No. Tipped by Fellows. No. Ball loose and taken by Yetnekian on the rebound. Toros Yetnekian now has 5 for ISU, and the Bengals come out of backcourt with Troy Miles. Open fist with the left hand calls the play. Holston on the right sideline, goes to the top of the key, hands it back to Toros Yetnekian. He's wide open for a three-pointer, and it spins in and out. Crowell Furch with the rebound. Fast break coming. Ray Willis on the right, goes to the free throw line, pulls up. Back to Chris Conway, top of the key. Thought about taking the shot, doesn't do it. Bounce the pass in the lane, turn for a shot. Jacobs, good! Raymond Jacobs with his first field goal in Big Sky Conference play in a long time. Jake coming off a severe injury, actually a sprained knee, but he's had major surgery to both of his knees, so the sprain December 9th against Houston Baptist was a pretty serious injury. 60-48, Montana State by a dozen, inside 6 minutes to play, and ISU with the ball. Don Holston on the right, at the top of the key, he'll pop, and it's no good off the rim. Chris Conway with the rebound, a good rebounding guard. Fast break, Ray Willis on the right, juke-step move, pulls up, 12-footer, angle right, spins in and out, no good, and Rhode rebounds. Quite a flurry of action there, and a timeout called by the Bengals. 5 minutes and 37 seconds left from Bozeman, the final home game of the regular season for MSU. The Bobcats lead the Bengals of Idaho State 60-48, and we now take timeout on this Bobcat.
National Park Service programs, even free afternoon ski clinics. There's always something happening in Yellowstone's winter season. For reservations, write Yellowstone Park Division, TW Services, Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming, or call 307-344-7311.
Half minutes left from the field house in Bozeman. 60-48, Montana State by a dozen. Idaho State ball coming out of backcourt. Troy Miles leaves the ball off to Gordon Bean. Bean off to Jim Rhode, top of the key. Man-to-man defense. To Troy Miles in the right corner. A three-pointer. It's up. It's high off the rim. Fellows rebounds, but he reaches in and pushed off for the foul, and that's a good one. A good call anyway. Fellows with the personal. He pushed off his man, Rodney Purvis, who has just entered the game. You're listening to Montana State Bobcat basketball on KYBS FM in Livingston, Bozeman, and KXXL AM in Bozeman. 5:17 left to play. The foul called on Fellows, his third. The inbounds pass comes out top of the key to Rhode, who buries the three-pointer. A 20-footer for Jim Rhode, who now has 14 points. I believe that might be a career high for him. He's just a sophomore from Portland, Oregon. For the Bobcats at the free throw line, Crowell Furch leans in, passes off right side. Ray Willis with the shot. It's off the rim, no. Fellows gets the offensive rebound, baseline left, back out top to Shan Furch, who's checked back in for the Cats. And Shan waves off the offense with his left hand, now dribbles to the right wing, almost lost the ball out of bounds right sideline, but it's saved by Clayman Jacobs. Back to Shan, Shan to Ray Willis. A shake and bake move all the way down the lane for a lay-in for Ray Willis. Ray Willis for two. He now has 14 points. The Bobcats lead 62-51 for Idaho State. Troy Miles off to Jim Rhode. Rhode at the top of the key, pulls up and takes a straight-on jump shot for three, plus a foul against Montana State. Count the basket, and this could be a four-point play. You don't see those very often. I don't think we've had a four-point play here in the field house this season. Tonight we now have the possibility of seeing two. D'Amenco had one for MSU in the first half. Substitutions. The Bobcats take Ray Willis out and Clayman Jacobs out and bring Chris Conway back into the game along with Tommy D'Amenco. So Rhode's now up to 17 points on back-to-back three-pointers and has a chance to get his 18th point. He's just a 42% free throw shooter, 1 for 1 tonight, but he cans the free throw for number 18 this evening for him. 62-55, Montana State by 7. Bobcat ball in front court to my right. Shan Furch on the right wing, free throw line extended. A good move to the free throw line, pulls up on the run for a shot and got it. Shan Furch now has 6 points. All three hoops coming in the second half. He makes it 64-55. Down to 4 minutes left to play in this game. The Cats by 9. Gordon Bean on the right wing for Idaho State goes to the top of the key and pulls up. He's guarded by Tom D'Amenco, who has hands in his face. To Rodney Purvis, a three-pointer air ball over the hoop. Darren Allman rebounds on the weak side and lobs it back to Troy Miles. And the fans start yelling out, air ball after Purvis really missed that last three-pointer badly. Gordon Bean now up between the circles for ISU to Rodney Purvis. Again, he pulls up, lobs the pass down low to Rhode. Dribble drive down the right baseline, leans for a shot. Double pump won't go, but it's tipped up and in by Gordon Bean. There are a couple of hands there for Idaho State, and the Bengals are right back in this one, 64-57. Montana State ball. Conway feeds on the bounce pass to Crowfurch in the left corner. He gets around his man, drives down the baseline, double pump shot, good, foul called. Crowfurch would desperately like to heat up a little bit down the stretch here in his final home game, and that time he made a real nice move. He deceptively looked like he was going to dribble back to the left wing and then made a nice drive down the baseline, double pumped the shot up and made it angle left, and he drew the foul on Darren Allman, his first, and now Crowd to the free throw line where he is 4 for 4 tonight, make it 5 for 5 for the left-hander from Livingston. His 13th point overall, and the Bobcats have called off the Dogs and are not pressing right now full court. They'll pick up Idaho State man-to-man half court. Bengal ball in front court. Gordon Bean at the top of the key hands it back to Rhode, who's been red hot with 18 points. Rhode lobs the pass to Rodney Purvis, angle left. A long three-pointer high off the back rim. Fellows rebounds to Shan Furch on the left. And a fast break. Shan all the way down the lane. He lobs the shot off the glass too hard and is called for an offensive foul. 67-57 the score. A 10-point Bobcat lead, and Shan Furch draws his first foul, a player control foul. And that should be the 6th team foul called against the Cats in the second half. One more, and Idaho State will have a chance to shoot the bonus. 2:40 left. Troy Miles dribbles straight ahead through the center circle, feeds it a high post to Gordon Bean, who squares up, looks in the lane, finds Allman, who spins in, double team, can't find the shot. Back out to Miles on the left wing. To Jim Rhode, tried for a shot, left of the circle, and Shanford with a good defensive play. Rhode gets the ball back, drives in, misses the lay-in, partially blocked by Fellows, who grabs away the rebound. And we have a hurt Bobcat down on the floor. Ray Willis is hurt. And Chuck Carnop hurries out to attend to the Bobcats junior co-captain, and let's hope that nothing seriously is wrong with Ray Willis. Willis grabbed away the loose ball as Shan Furch knocked the ball away from Rhode as Rhode tried to shoot it. It was on the floor. Ray got it. Then Rhode somehow snatched it away from Willis, went in for the shot that was missed and then taken away by Fellows. But that is really of minor consequence right now when you consider the possible injury to maybe, but they just put him in the chair. He's sitting upright, and they'll carry him off into the locker room. And this is serious, serious business for Montana State. Ray Willis, a vital cog to the Bobcats' big charge this season, injured now, and let's hope that it's not a serious injury. We'll try to find out something for you later. The Bobcats get the ball back now, leading 67-57. Chris Conway out of backcourt to Tom DeMaco high on the right. Between the circles to Crowfurch, now off on the left to Conway, to DeMaco, and now Crowfurch right of the circle, again to Conway. Conway to DeMaco high on the left. The Bobcats will run some time off the clock. Conway on the right wing, free throw line extended. Into the corner to Crowfurch. He dribbles back out to the right wing, up top to Shan Furch at the top of the circle. Drives to the free throw line to Chris Conway on the left wing. The shot clock now down to 14, 13 and counting down. DeMaco dribbles to the left wing and laterals it back to Conway. Conway with a big left-handed dribble all the way up to his chest and back. To Shan Furch, who goes inside the circle, shoots in and out, rims in and out, no good, and Holston rebounds for Idaho State. So the Cats did waste some time there, ran some time off the clock, but now they lead by 10. ISU has the ball. Don Holston in the right corner for a three-pointer. Off the rim, no. Fellows with another rebound, and we have Fellows right now with 6 rebounds.